You type a question. Half a second later, a perfectly formed answer comes back. It explains things clearly. It writes code. It cracks jokes. It even apologizes when it gets things wrong. So what's actually going on inside that little chat box? Is there someone typing back? Is it magic? Is it secretly just Google? Actually, none of the above. And the real answer is way more interesting. Here's the thing about language. It's incredibly complex. Like, embarrassingly complex for a computer. Think about this sentence. I saw the man with the telescope. Did I use a telescope to see the man? Or did I see a man who was holding a telescope? English just doesn't tell you. And yet your brain figured it out in under a second without even trying. For decades, computers were absolutely terrible at this. They followed rigid rules. If someone said bank, they had no idea if you meant a river bank or a savings bank. Context was invisible to them. So how did we go from that to ChatGPT writing entire essays? That's exactly what we're going to unpack. Let's start with the core idea. And it's simpler than you think. ChatGPT is, at its heart, a next word prediction machine. That's it. Given everything that came before, it asks, what word is most likely to come next? You've seen this before. It's your phone's autocomplete. You type, happy birth, and it suggests day. Simple, right? Now imagine that autocomplete had read virtually the entire internet. Every book, article, forum, Wikipedia page, scientific paper, and Reddit argument it could get its hands on. Hundreds of billions of words. That's ChatGPT's starting point. Here's where it gets clever. As it read all that text, it didn't just memorize words. It learned relationships between words. It figured out that Paris almost always shows up near France, city, and Eiffel Tower. It noticed that doctor appears near patient and hospital. It picked up on grammar, facts, tone, even humor. Not because anyone programmed those rules in, but because the patterns were hiding in the data all along. Think of it like this. If you read 1,000,000 mystery novels, you'd start to notice patterns. The butler is always suspicious. The detective always has one weird quirk. Someone always gets poisoned at dinner. You'd absorb the rules of the genre without anyone teaching you. ChatGPT did that, but for all of human language, all at once. Now, how does it actually store all of this? Not as a giant list of facts. Instead, it stores something called parameters. Think of them as billions of tiny dials, each one tuned very slightly during training. GPT-4 has an estimated 1 trillion of these dials. Each one represents a tiny sliver of everything the model learned. Together, they capture an extraordinary amount of knowledge about how language works. When you type a message, your words flow through all those dials simultaneously in a fraction of a second, and out comes the most statistically likely, contextually appropriate response. But here's the part most people don't know about. Raw prediction alone doesn't make a great assistant. Left to its own devices, an early version of this model could be weird, unhelpful, or just plain wrong. So OpenAI added a crucial second step. They had real humans rate the responses. Thumbs up for helpful, accurate, safe. Thumbs down for the opposite. Then they used those ratings to fine-tune the model, rewarding good responses, discouraging bad ones. This process is called reinforcement learning from human feedback, or RLHF. It's essentially how ChatGPT learned not just to predict language, but to be useful. Now, full honesty moment, it's not perfect, not even close. Because ChatGPT works by predicting what sounds right, it sometimes confidently states things that are completely wrong. Researchers call this hallucination, basically the model making things up that fit the pattern of a correct-sounding answer. It also has a knowledge cutoff. It doesn't know what happened last week, and it has no actual understanding of the world the way you do. It's extraordinarily good at sounding knowledgeable, which is both its superpower and its biggest risk. So what does this actually mean for you? It means ChatGPT is an incredibly powerful first draft machine. Need to write an email you've been putting off, brainstorm ideas for a project, summarize a long document, explain something confusing to you in simple terms. It's genuinely excellent at all of that, but it also means you should never fully outsource your thinking to it, because it doesn't know what's true. It knows what sounds true. Always verify anything important. Treat it like a brilliant, well-read assistant who occasionally makes things up with total confidence. You wouldn't take every word your most enthusiastic colleague says as gospel. Same rule applies here. Next word prediction. Trained on the internet. Fine-tuned by humans. 1 trillion dials. That's ChatGPT. Not magic, just really, really sophisticated pattern matching at a scale we've never seen before. And we're just getting started. Next time, we're going to look at something even wilder. How AI learns to see. How does a computer look at a photo and know there's a cat in it? That one's going to surprise you. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and we'll see you in the next one.